Hey, people. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening. This is Spirit Journey. How are you? How are you doing? Yes, today is Saturday, um, March, was it March 15, 2025? And what time is it? Can't even tell the time. Oh, what is that? Oh, wow. It looks like 10:30 about. Looks close to 10:30. Yeah, boy, I want to talk about something. I want to talk about something a little, um, it's a little controversial. Um, I was just watching a program, and I mean, we all basically know what is right and what is wrong. Hey, how you doing, viewer? Good evening, good evening. Yeah, I want to talk about a subject. I mean, we all basically know what's right, what's wrong. And so I have to be careful how I word it because I don't want to come across like, well, what is she saying? What is Spirit Journey saying? You know, that's what she really believes. Um, but it's about hypocrisy and about how, who decides what's right, what's wrong, and how people earn a living. And upfront, what I say about how one earns a living, um, these societies, you have, I'm sorry, not society, civilization, that's the one I'm thinking of, civilization. And civilization is an artificial thing. The civilization that requires that you're forced to have monetary exchange for goods and services. And they use what we call economics to manifest, to perfect how it's done, how commerce is done, how money is made. And somehow you have people who go to school, study economics or study business management, and they might work in high places, but you have disaster. Um, I really feel that this civilization is a trap for humanity to force you to rely on paper money and the schemes that people do to try to make this money, but it's an artificial construct and it's really evil in nature. Up front, that's what you know. So now I'm going to talk about what is hypocrisy. Well, I was watching a program. Um, it was a country in Africa, and it was at the very end. They showed different things that people do for a living. In some countries, they live by the ocean, and their industry is fishing. A lot of people like fish, and so they have a work and they earn their keep. Well, at the end of the movie, excuse me, the end of the documentary, they showed, I mean, it's how they slipped that in the movie, they showed the wildlife and everything. And then at the end, um, the term poacher, okay. And they said that this person had gotten arrested for poaching. And poaching is, to hunt particular wildlife, and I assume that it's becoming extinct. And if you if you destroy that animal, uh, it's punishable by imprisonment. And they want to save the animal. Now, I'm more in favor of protecting the weak, protecting that which can't protect itself. Um, and I don't want to see anything suffer. Okay. No one wants to see that. I don't want to see things suffer. And um, now you have people who eat meat. You have people who eat meat, and you have people who don't eat meat, and they're called vegans or vegetarians, or even vegan if it's absolute no animal meat. Uh, so they were taking the tusks of elephants. Now, elephants, I understand, they live a long life, I think up to 50 plus years. And they're beautiful, big, and they're supposed to be very wise, the elephant. Um, I don't want to see anything to die senseless. Um, so the person, I my understanding with this type of poaching, that they destroy the whole animal just to get the tusks. And those are big, beautiful animals. Um, I wonder, are there more ethical ways to get the tusk, to just cut a piece of the tusk to sell it? Like you raise elephants to gather the tusks. But, I don't know. But either way, it's illegal to do. And I think rightly so. I won't contest it. But it's how it came across. Like, I mean, see, it's hard for me to express because I like, and I mean, I have a little dog, and I wouldn't want anybody to hurt my dog or any dog in general. But now the elephant, I don't want anyone to hurt an elephant either. I don't want this senselessness. Um, but I started to react and get angry of how it was presented in the story. It was a script. It was like a script, and I heard the script before. I had visited this. I'm not going to say where, but I had visited a place before, and the person was relaying a story and how um, they were bad people because they did, this and that, um, you know, killing certain wildlife. And they did it for money to earn a living. And these people were dirt poor. And so it's not something like they woke up one morning and said, hey, I want to be cruel to animals and do X, Y, and Z. And, that's what I want to do for a living. No, that's not how it happened. When you don't know how you're going to get your next meal, and this civilization was introduced to your society, and you're forced to play the game of civilization with this monetary system, okay? It wasn't back in the day, it was a bartering, right? You have a goods, someone else have a goods, and you exchange. But now you have this system that it's just to generate this what they call cash. And you're not working because of that you like to work, and you show, you know, do a good job at it, but it's just to generate income, just to generate money. And it's like you become enslaved to money. And when you're desperate and you're forced into the game of civilization to participate in the banking system, monetary system, you might be forced to do things that you wouldn't, you can't believe that you're actually doing. Some people, to play the game of this monetary system, they might even go into prostitution. And then you have the pimps, and then you have the johns, and it's just a bad thing No one's not waking up in the morning saying, I want to do that for a living. No. But you have this person, they were like presented this person like, oh, they were bad, like, oh, they're just evil. And oh, but after he got out of jail, oh, now he's a farmer. Like, and then they showed his farm, and it was just like a little, looked like let's see, maybe 20 square feet, and that's the farm. The ground looked hard like a rock, and he had it like sectioned off. And I am saying to myself, you don't even see anything growing on that. And this supposed to be a redeemable occupation. And it's just how the narrator was saying, like a voiceover. Oh, now look at him now. He's a farmer. Now he doesn't have to do that type of work anymore. Okay. But I'm looking, and the work looked back-breaking, people, back-breaking. Um, you don't see anything growing. And farming. I mean, I'm just trying to grow like a little, a little plant. What do you call it? It looks like a spinach. Honey, I'm having the hardest time just trying to grow a little thing in a little container. Honey, farming. Boy, I guess there's an art to farming, and again, I'm not a farmer. I mean, I just wanted to learn how to do basic gardening and grow some green leafy vegetables for my food and things like that. I knew when I came to Rwanda, I wanted to plant seeds and watch them grow and um, enjoy the labors of my hand. That's what I really wanted. I am retired. So, so I'm looking at this dude, and it was just him and I think one other person, and they have their holes and they just that guy ain't got I didn't see any. He ain't going nowhere with that. But they said, oh, now he's able to support himself and not be in that line of work. Okay. Now, I'm I think it's a good thing that the little elephants, that they live to a ripe old age and they die in peace. We want the best for these beautiful creatures. Um, but it's like, okay, now wouldn't have been able to do the farming before. I mean, why didn't he choose farming to start off with? But he's doing the poaching, what they call poaching. It's poaching because it's law was passed. But if it wasn't any law passed about it, then it'll be, his thing and not making a character assassin, you know, saying that his character is bad. Um, People are forced to do a lot of things to play in this monopoly game. And I'm sad about that. Um, and I'm glad I never had to do something like that, compromise myself. Uh, it's just, I don't know. But either way, I started thinking. So because the law is passed, that's what makes him bad. Not supposed to act itself, but because the law was passed. And that's I think, people raise animals. Some people raise cows. Some people raise chickens. Um, some people raise pigeons. But some people raise bees. And if no law is passed, there's no crime against them. But soon when a law is passed, it's like it creates a new environment, and it just manifests disaster. Um, Why is it that it's okay to raise certain animals for certain things, and why others? It's just something I was thinking about. Um, if there was a way, a so-called ethical way to get the tusks, or would it be considered bad? Um, and arresting them for it. So how come it's not illegal to raise chickens or cows or all these other things? Um, look at okay. So if they really wanted this person to uh, have a different occupation, and I think it is better to do a different occupation, to waste that animal, to do all that just for one little, the tusk. Um, but I'm just thinking about the rationality behind it. Um, people like you have people who, let's say like okay, they said go into farming, and they didn't say what he was to farm. This guy. And it doesn't look like anything's growing on this thing. And the ground was it's in a real hot country, and that ground was so damn hard. Oh, so what if the guy says, "Okay, I won't do poaching anymore. Okay, I won't do that." What if he said, "I want to raise what do you call cannabis or poppies?" Right now, those are crops, but it's considered illegal. Even though there is medicinal value, at least with the cannabis, and you can make clothing out of it too. And in fact, clothing was made out of like a hemp, what they call hemp, but it's all the same type of plant, hemp or cannabis. So, um, but it's just the particular component that they don't want you to get the buzz from. And no, I never did marijuana, but it is a natural plant. It was here before humanity came on the planet, to my understanding. So the business he was in was lucrative for him. So he's not allowed to do that anymore. And then, okay, do farming. That's safe, right? So how come that laws are passed and it's illegal in many places to have cannabis, to grow the thing that gets you high? And so if he wants to be a good person and make a product that's easy to grow, um, and everybody wants it, there's a demand for it, and then that's considered bad. Um, why didn't they have if they don't want him to do that line of work, to find him work that is very lucrative? What about diamonds? They say you have a mind. Do you know that there's some places they have diamonds, gold, and oh, but if you get it, oh, you're a bad person, and you are, what do you call it? Those are blood diamonds. You have a market. People who control the diamond industry, and it's not the people where these diamonds come from. And if those people who try to sell what comes from their country, uh, they are labeled, blood diamonds. They put that stigma to it. See, that's what I get. They put a label associated with those diamonds, but then other people are doing things that are horrible, and no one blinks an eye about them. No one. Um, you have people who control the industry and they're making all the money. Diamonds all over. Gold is all over. And then the hoarding and restricting it is what making the value. And so it's a false, they're manipulating the market to raise the value of it so that they can make more money. Now, I think that's evil. I think that's evil. And it's like they're deciding in this game of Monopoly, they make up rules that prevent other people from doing what other people are doing. And they're going to put a label on these people, put a label on people who have diamonds or gold and plenty of it, but they don't want them to sell it because it's going to decrease the value. So it's not about that people are dying to get the diamonds or the gold, whatever. Every job has its risks, every job. But to hoard, to stop a whole nation, and it's like an embargo. You cannot sell those products from your country. But somebody in another location has control over the market and making all the money. I think that is um, unethical. Uh, it's bad, and it's designed to devalue. I mean, put a limit on a population so they don't control. If everybody played the game the same way, um, the balance of power would be more balanced right now, but it's lopsided right now because the market is not fair to certain people. So I just started noticing, okay, if someone you want someone to not do a particular thing, but there are limitations. And they say, oh, you can't grow that. You can't do that. Oh, you can't raise this type of animal. And that's what's causing me frustration because I see the hypocrisy when someone really wants to do a business. Someone else of power says no, and then they put a law attached to it, and then it becomes sinister, uh, like the cannabis. Someone says, "Oh, you're a junkie. You do can Again, I've never done that before, but here they could vilify and create a label against someone who's utilizing a substance that's been around from the beginning of mankind. And you can pass any law about certain things. At one time, it was legal to enslave certain people, and then they changed the law. So, do you need a law? Is it a law that determines whether something's good or bad, or is it about ethics? That's what I'm talking about. What is ethical, what is fair, and okay, if doing that, poaching, or create a law to make something uh, to get arrested for because it's banned, then you're creating a system. And it's supposed to be attached to it some type of ethical stance. But is it really ethical when the person says, okay, I won't kill wildlife, I won't do that, but okay, I'm going to grow this cash crop. And they said, no, you can't grow that. But you have people who make alcohol. At one time in U.S. history, it was what called the prohibition. It was illegal. Alcohol was illegal. So are these bad people then? Are all those people, or should say, are the current people who make wines or spirits, are these people evil because in the past it was a law against it, right? So now you watch TV and you see the commercials on alcohol, and people, yeah, and it's being romanticized, alcohol. And it's like, I don't understand this. And people are making a lot of money on all alcohol worldwide, selling it and becoming very wealthy. Uh, so why more people die, and also cigarettes. Don't forget the cigarettes. Okay, not tobacco in itself has been around for a long time. It's what the other chemicals they put in those cigarettes that make it addictive and carcinogenic. So how come they're not considered evil people creating things that cause thousands and thousands of deaths every year in America? Cigarette smoking. They even had in New York these, because they was trying to balance it out because they had all these commercial on for cigarette smoking. It's okay. We're going to allow you to say that smoking is actually detrimental to you, and that they had this a blow up doll of a rat, a giant rat that you inflate with air, and they just stand around giving out flyers, whatever, that smoking is bad. Why don't you just ban the whole damn thing? But they're not going to do it because it's profitable. Even at the it damaging human life. The cancer industry is making pharmaceuticals or people who treat these ailments money. And so, how ethical is that? How come they're not in jail? I can't believe it. Or people who have abortions. Okay, now you have people, women, and for whatever reason, they may feel the need to do that. Millions of babies are dying every year. They'll call it a fetus. See that again? Making something that is evil and making it seem like, oh well, it's just something that's feeding off of you. See that? And and it's killing millions every year. In some countries, that the growth rate in their society is shrinking because no one's reproducing. And so um, I'm confused, people. I'm confused about what's right and wrong. I mean, I know in my heart what's right and wrong for me. But when I start to see the hypocrisy, millions of babies are dying every year. But that's okay. And people making money, these doctors who's supposed to represent, life, right? And again, they can't even call themselves healers because they're not healing, but they're really drug pushers. But they romanticize and wear a lab coat, and so that's supposed to make them look holy. So here you got this guy in this poor ass country. Yes, he did was getting tusks from the elephant, and there's no real school there. There's nothing there, and it's just open space. They're forced into this monetary system of earning a living, okay, rather than the bartering, which was, how they started out, and the vilification of this man thrown in jail or prison. And then it's okay, we have to redeem, be redeemable now. You got to be a good citizen now, or be a farmer. What if he wanted to grow marijuana? What if he wanted to grow poppies? What if? Then you're going to say, oh, that's not good. That's There you go. I don't know. So that's where that's what's happening. Um, I'm sick of some of the things, that you see people, you see rich people. You have people who are filthy rich because of the evil that they do and exploitation. And you don't see them getting thrown in jail. You don't see people who make champagne or wine or cigarettes being thrown in jail. And millions of people die, worldwide. And they're like heroes. But you got someone who is just doing what they're doing because what else, how how they're going to earn a living because the environment that it is so limited, you know. Um, Man, I mean, you could just go on and on about the different types of tasks. Uh, they have some farmers, and they're being told, "Oh, don't raise any corn, no corn." Or let's put GMO in this. This created GMO, and then you get the GMO plant, and then blow the pollen over in your neighbor's farm, and that pollen that's contaminated with the GMO. Um, Fertilizes the person's crop, and then they say, oh, that's not your crop anymore because my genetics went into your plant. Oh yes, I did it on purpose, but it's not yours anymore because I have it patented, so that plant is mine. Well, you just contaminated someone's farm, but that's okay, right? That's okay, and nothing happens, and those GMOs are affecting the lives of people. And then you say, you cannot reproduce your plant. Oh, it's GMO. Okay. Oh, we're going to make it so when you plant and then when you want to collect the seeds at harvest time, it won't grow. That is Frankenstein farmery. That is Frankenstein farmery. And so that's not evil. They're creating what, they make it up as they go along. And you have evil people doing things, making a lot of money off of wickedness, and then not in jail, and it's considered okay. It's not okay creating GMOs or saying, well, you cannot grow our seeds, because you try to plant our seeds from the harvest, it's sterile and the plant won't grow, and you're forced to buy our seeds. This is thuggery. It's thuggery and it's evil, and they're not in jail. Why? Well, you create your own sense of reality or what's considered good or bad. You can buy what is you can buy your way and make it something seem innocent or legal, and you create and you get away with it, and then another person, oh, that's illegal, you're a poacher, we'll throw you in jail. I don't know, people. I don't know what's happening in society. um, I'm very disturbed about it. Again, I don't want to see a little elephant die, a whole big elephant to get its tusks. Um, I mean, it's senseless. I mean, I don't agree with that. It's sad. A lot of things are sad. Um, I mean, I was even thinking at one point maybe to go vegan again. I don't know, or just eat eggs. Um, I think part like when my two fur babies passed away early last year, I started thinking, you know, um, my feelings about it. Um, I don't know, but it's something that I did come across my mind. I really don't want to see things hurt. But you know, what are we going to do? What is humanity to do, especially if you live in a so-called third world nation and you're trying to fit in this game of Monopoly? How are you going to feed your family? I mean, you have people who control the weather. They have people who can control whether it rains or not in your community because they want to limit your ability to grow a cash crop because it's in competition of somebody else. So, I mean, what about those people who put the what do you call the thing in the sky? Chemtrails. You have people putting this fog in the sky, and it's caused deaths in the animals in America. Yeah, there's a growing number of animals dying after this fog comes in. How come they're not? How come it's not being investigated? And how come there are no arrests? So again, it seems like when you do things on a very, very, very large scale, no punishment. And then you got someone who's barely surviving. And yes, they were uh, what they call poaching. Had to do jail time, and then they said, okay, you be a farmer. You think if farming really made money, you think, they all be doing it. But it's like that. It's hard. I'm just trying to learn how to grow little fruit seeds, and I'm having a hard time. I am having, I was trying to grow this thing called dodo. It's like a spinach, and I'm not doing very well with it. And also trying to grow cayenne pepper. Yeah, I want to be fruitful. It is hard work. Farming is not easy. And they're asking this dude, okay, you're gonna do farming. Well, get a cash crop. So they wouldn't dare have him do that. And you have some governments that actually promote the illicit drugs and they sell it for black market. What do you call it? What do you call it when you're doing things? Black budget. That's what it's called. Black budget. Yeah. So what's good? What's bad? What's ethical? What's not ethical? Well, you have people again. You have people in power, and they decide what's good and bad. And that aspect of it, I don't like. I don't like the system forcing people who are decent in heart but are forced or feel forced to do a particular lifestyle or a particular occupation, and then they get thrown in jail. And then they're forced to do, it's like keeping someone down and being on welfare all their lives. You want to try to do better. You want to, but they make it impossible. Yeah, that's what I'm protesting against. We all have, I want to believe that we all have a sense of right and wrong to really know what is right and wrong. And unfortunately, some people feel forced to do certain things. Um, what are they going to do? I don't know. So that's just food for thought about what's ethical, what is right, what is wrong. You can grow certain things, and then they say you can't grow that. Or you even have the government say you can't grow this. Well, but we'll reimburse you. We want the price to go up or the price to go down, you know. And it's just I think is evil. That is evil. Preventing people to earn that living. You force them in the game of monopoly, and when they want to create something, do something, oh, if you're going to pass a law, you can't do that. That's what I'm up against. So that is just food for thought. Let me know what you think, you know, what I said about how people are forced to do certain occupations. And on one level, you could just make a law and you create um, someone who's considered unethical, and then you can change the law and they're holy. Go figure. Go figure. Yeah. So this is Spirit Journey signing off. Take care and enjoy your evening. Bye bye.